What is up, guys? It's Styx here, and today we are talking about the Felwinter's Live replacement for when it gets sunset in Destiny 2. Now, one of the recent TWABs, probably the one from about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, mentioned specifically that the Destiny team is looking for a way to deal with Felwinter's Lie and Warmind cells, which likely means that in the next couple of seasons they're going to either get nerfed or sunset independent of all of the other weapons. This isn't much of an issue since they're dominating all of the current content, with Warmind cells being just uncontested, even making hand cannons like the Serif Officer Revolver really popular in terms of just weapons to use on top of the Ikelos SMG, which is just annihilating everything else. And then Felwinter's Lie with its shot package providing extra closed spread and, range and all that. But realistically, since everyone has access to them, there's no real problem with them getting sunset, in my opinion, anyway. I don't think anyone is really contesting that. Most of the sunsetting issues were weapons that really never got their chance to shine to begin with. Now, the real question is, since most people look to Felwinters for their PvP shotgunning needs, aping, just generally trying to pair things with a shotgun, anything you really want, people need a replacement for a weapon like this because Felwinters is dominating that scene. Iron Banner, Trials, you see it everywhere. Now, the most obvious option for this is Astral Horizon because it is a Trials weapon, PvP. It's an aggressive frame shotgun, and it also comes with a lot of really good perks, such as you can pair Quick Draw with Opening Shot, and that just works really well because Quick Draw helps the handling a whole lot, and Opening Shot makes the range insane, and I highly doubt you're going to just aim down sights and continuously to fire with this weapon. That's not a really great idea to do with a shotgun like this, especially when your one-hit kill range is really far. You really shouldn't be using this outside of that range. However, it does not work as a proper replacement due to the nature of it being a kinetic weapon. Thus, it's actually paired best with, energy primaries like Gnawing Hunger, Bottom Dollar, Palindrome, stuff like that. As for energy shotguns to replace Felwinters, a favorite of mine is the Serif CQC shotgun, which was unfortunately overshadowed by the Felwinter's Lie back in the Season of the Warmind, Season 10. Since sunsetting on a wide scale has ended, the Serif shotgun is a really good shout as it is. This is due to it being, like the Felwinters, a solar shotgun. The Serif CQC is also a lightweight frame shotgun, which provides some extra speed and mobility whenever you're using it. This is really useful for hunters because it allows them to work with more mobility than they would have stat-wise, so they can put that into something else like recovery. But it's really useful in all classes because while the range is lower than aggressive frame shotguns, the higher rate of fire allows for 2 shots to be taken much faster, along with shotgun meleeing to be faster. So in my personal opinion, the Serif CQC fits my playstyle much better than Felwinter's, even right now, with Felwinter's not being nerfed or sunset or anything like that. Of course, this is provided that you either get really up close and personal with your enemies so that you can one-shot kill them anyway, or you can one-shot and then melee them, and then your shotgun is ready to go much faster than a lot of other weapons because they're heavier, I would say. Now, while I don't think there are any ways to farm new Seraph shotguns, I'm sure a lot of people probably have them in their vaults if they've been playing any of the recent seasons because they drop all the time. There are a lot of rules that you can use really well, so if you have them in your vault, you might as well use them because they're good. On top of that, with Felwinter's getting sunset, odds are they're probably going to put these back in rotation in either the World Loot Pool or in targeted Umbrella engrams like they're doing. So I would guarantee that they're going to come back at some point. Now, while this gun, I would say, is much more of a PvP shotgun than a PvE shotgun, it still works really well for PvE. And this is due to the fact that it can come with some pretty nasty PvE perks on top of it being a Warmind cell weapon. So until Warmind cells are, sunset or taken out of rotation, or something is done to make them not an overwhelming option, like maybe something else being added, you can really just go with this. And for that, what I would recommend would be probably the Assault or Tactical Mag for your magazine. This would be because of the reload speed increase, rounds per minute increase, and stability. And then the Tactical Mag increases your magazine as well. On top of this, you could probably pair it with either corkscrew rifling or small bore to really work with consistency. Since you're obviously going to not just be focused on range, you're going to want some stability because you're not going to be able to just one hit kill everything, especially if you use it on something like a major. As far as some good recommendations in terms of your first perk slot, for PvE, I would say use Slide Shot, Lead from Gold, Auto-Loading Holster. Those 3 perks are just really good overall for PvE. Lead from Gold is not as good, but it's still good. Auto-Loading Holster is just going to work really well if you're switching between this and a heavy weapon, because it's going to keep it reloading for you so you can save time during, like, for example, a boss damage phase, though I don't know if you'd want this for that unless you're taking down ads, and then switching to a heavy like Xenophage to do your boss damage. And then Slide Shot is just generally, even for PvP, really good. Just all across the board, because it reloads your weapon for you, it boosts your range and stability, and because of the number of bullets in the 7th Serif CQC shotgun magazine, it actually loads 2 at a time, which is really nice. For PvP, my main recommendations for your first perk slot would be Quick Draw or a Slide Shot, just straight up, because the other options you have are not going to be as good. Just in general, lead from gold, you're not going to be picking up heavy ammo off the ground, and if you do, you've probably got more than enough shotgun ammo anyway. And then auto-loading holster is just not something you use in PvP, and it doesn't compete at all with Slide Shot being as good as it is, especially on this weapon, and Quick Draw with the handling increase it gives you. As far as the second perk slot goes, PvE has some pretty decent options here. Shield Disorient, I wouldn't really use myself, but if it's something you really like to use on your weapons, then feel free. There should be no problem with that. My real choice for a PvE perk would be Trench Barrel or Vorpal Weapon. Vorpal Weapon increasing boss vehicle damage, and Trench Barrel because successful melee hits give the weapon increased damage, handling, and reload speed, and you're going to be using your melee pretty often during PvE. Now, in terms of PvP, you could have either snapshot sights or a vorpal weapon on this gun, but I would really recommend snapshot sights for the just general handling increase. If you pair this with something like the Icarus grip, you can just be flying around destroying people, especially on something like a hunter with their vertical mobility. And even on my Titan, as shown in the gameplay behind this, is just shredding enemies. He's just mowing through, aping. I wanted to make sure that the gameplay for this video was primarily me aping, just running in with the shotgun, just so you can see what you could get out of it, even without really strategizing with your gun. You can just run in, kill people, you move fast enough because it's a lightweight weapon and because of its high fire rate that you can just mow down groups of enemies, especially if you pair it with something like Syntheseps on a Titan, or the ACD feedback vents, I think is what it's called. Those work really well. So does Liar's Handshake, the Hunter Gauntlets. Someone melees you, you melee them back, you're probably going to kill them. Straight up. Just no worry about it at all. Warlocks also for stasis, they have their well, so you can run in, and as soon as you start getting anything on you, you can just pop your well in the middle of combat, freeze as many people as possible, and then just try to mow through them with your high fire rate on your shotgun. This weapon is just honestly great. Now, as far as roles that I would go for when it comes to the Astral Horizon shotgun, if you decide to pair this with an energy weapon, then there are some really good perks you can go with. Do not use it for PvE though. As with every shotgun, you want either full choke or rifled barrel. It's all preference based. It honestly doesn't matter. Like whatever you want to use. Rifled barrel, just keep in mind, knocks down the handling a bit. So if you pair it with a perk that boosts your handling a ton, like quick draw or snapshot sights, then you don't have to worry about that at all. And you can just see it as a +10 ranged boost. But rather than full choke increasing your range stat, it instead tightens the bullet spread so that you have a much better going about it, which is just generally nice. The same mags are the best. You can go with tactical mag or assault mag for some really good just general consistency, increasing your rounds per minute or increasing the reload speed and magazine size. You can also go with a light mag for some extra range and reload speed. As far as the general perks to go with, first slot you want either slide shot or quick draw, because you can just keep yourself reloaded as often as possible, and quick draw just lets you be able to switch to the weapon really quickly. And then for your second slot perk, I would personally go with opening shot. I don't have that role myself though, because I do not play much trials at all. But you could also go with killing wind. But either way guys, this has been Styx. I hope you enjoyed the video. These are some of my contenders for replacing the Felwinter's Light. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe. I know 99% of the people who watch these videos don't subscribe, so do it. Thank you for watching.